Hello, welcome to another coding session. As usual, I have to inform you that coding sessions, they are long, they are boring, and I also focus on the topics that I work right now. So you will see work in progress, and some of them are, or I should say most of them, they are not optimized for production use. So be cautious. So don't use everything you see. And in this one, what I want to do, recently I added one more subsystem to the code can. This is a project I am working on. And this subsystem is for GitHub. So I basically, I am trying to get like top repositories and top users for each programming language, and then later I want to add one more part which will be checking trends, like to see, for example, if this project was in top repositories for Rust language, what happens in a week, how, for example, stars change. Of course, this is not only information I'm getting. I'm trying to get most of the data provided by the language, provided by the GitHub API, sorry. And then also, as a next step, I want to add like this trending, right? So how this data, how this numbers change in a time period. So for today, what I want to do, right now I can parse. I have also saving part. So let me show. I have this this package, and main entry point is this one. I start a new token, like I initialize a new token. I get some configuration for database. We can skip this part for now. And also I initialize a GitHub client with my token. Initialize a search options. This is something provided by GitHub API, and I use go-github, which is a library by Google, and by using this library you can request, you can interact with GitHub's API. And what you have seen here, this is like, I would say like default way of initializing. As I said, it's not optimized. Probably a final version will be a bit different. For example, I don't want to initialize configuration and then connection string every time I go to the subsystem, because each of these subsystems, they have another instance of this configuration, which is which we can refactor a bit. But if you focus on the GitHub part, basically this initialization part, and then one of the parts that starts is fetching repos. As you can see, I use very simple concurrency approach. So I have wait group. I have list of the languages. This is static list. For now, I am getting data only for how they call it in GitHub. They have search and this list called most popular languages. So let me open another instance of GitHub. Boop, boop, boop. GitHub. Not this one. Yeah, let's just make any search basically. And if I go to the advanced search, so in this list you see they have popular and then everything else. So basically I get this list, this part, and so first I get this part, and then based on and then for each language, basically very simple, right? For each language I request, yeah, I got lost a bit, wait a moment. So this is my languages, this is my repos. So for each language, I have Gorotin, which will fetch top 100 repositories for the given language. This is my query. And I have additional requests that stars needs to be at least more than 100. Maybe I can improve, probably if you're talking about top packages, probably it should be 1000, but since I get only top 100, it's anyway more than 100. So I get this data and then convert it to my database model. For now, I use very generic approach for saving. This is one of the items that I want to work right now, because every time you run this code, it will be saved again. So you will have another instance. And one simple, let me finish this part. So basically, I save this to the database. If I enable logging, you can see it's like very primitive way of enabling, disabling. But anyway, if I enable, I will see also data on a console, on the terminal output. But at the end, if we run this part, I will have all this repository information in my database. So let me show you. Let's get all these fields. So this is how it looks like. And in terms of data, what I keep is so for example, this is all generated. So I have name of the repository, full name of the repository, including account, homepage data. Later, I want to use this data for further information, so I can get this data as well, and then try to index some additional information. I keep language information or account of the owner. I can basically get this data from parsing this part, this full name. Then number of the stars, amount of the stars, vouchers, forks. I'm not sure why this part is 0. Probably this is something that they don't use anymore. Probably I can remove it in later on. Number of the open issues. This is also something that I want to show in terms of time range. For example, how number of issues, open issues, changed like within a month, for example. So we can get this data from here. Size of the repository. Some data information, for example, like all this is provided by default by GitHub. One thing I didn't have a chance to check, for example, I also get some archived repositories. For example, these top 3, you see they are archived. They are not used anymore. Okay, so later, and also I get like license, code of conduct, mostly empty, and some more information like repository URL, owner URL, and owner avatar, so image. I'm going to use this image when I list this on a website. And as I said, let's do this part. What I was looking for. First of all, I want to give custom name to this field, because if you keep it like this, if you have field name like this, GORM will name it in a very strange manner. I can understand pattern how they parse, but this is like, if you have COC, it will end up like this. If you type it, of course, like this. Easiest way probably is to just have this. Yeah, I think I will do this. So let me see. I will rename it. Let's go back. So this is solved very easily. COC name. Oops, and COC key. And since we made this change, I can do like this. So And let's explain COC code of conduct. So, and let me double check. Yes, it's changed automatically. So this is solved. Another thing I want to do. So if I run this script again, I don't have mechanisms to check if I have this data in database. So I don't fetch the same repositories again and again. For now, easier way I want to go is to make this field unique. I will choose one of these fields, which I think will be always the same. And restrict having 2 rows with the same value, 2 rows and column with the same value. I was thinking about the full name, so to make this full name unique, so it cannot change, because I assume that, for example, if I do it on name, there might be another account with a blog repository, which is useless. It will not be unique. But combination of account or owner / repository name will be hopefully always same. There might be stations if this repository is moved, but I think for now I shouldn't worry about this. And one way of doing it, I think I have all of the examples, so I don't need to check with documentation. So let me close most of the windows and go to the... for now, I don't like my structure for infra, so I basically have a new model for each subsystem. I believe I can refactor it further, but for now, I don't want to focus on this part. So this is what I'm looking for. So I want to make it, I want to tell GORM to make it unique and not empty. And now I go to the GitHub model, and we are talking about this one. URL, and of course we need to change name. I don't need JSON information here, for now at least. So I need only to provide data for GORM. And I believe that's it. So let's also, I will not touch key. Key is something that I generate on my side. For each new fetched data, I generate a key. And the idea is that it will be unique across whole Kotlin project. So if I use this for another, if I use this data and process it and then generate another piece of information, I want to have binding to the original data, to the source of this data. So this will be done through key field. So I believe now we are good. Let me do this. I have this makefile target, which will recreate my database. And now we can run our application. Let's see. Stop. Probably I need to check. I need to check also if I need additional attributes for other fields, additional GORM attributes for other fields. I think it's done. So let's check this database. Okay, so I believe that's it. So this one is for Rust, and this one is for all the repositories. So, and now what I want to do, I want to restart. Now we should get a lot of errors. I think I log all the errors. Yeah. This is not good because, especially if we want periodically periodically fetch this data and then save it and etc. So you will end up with a lot of logs. So Probably one way of avoiding it is to make a special case for this error, so we don't even log it. But as a result, now if I check, I shouldn't have any duplication. So I hope this worked. Yes. So even if I run again, yes, I will have a bunch of unnecessary logs, but at least data isn't duplicated. So now let's solve another part. I did this once, I don't remember now exactly. So basically, so this is error. So I check with error isn't nil. Now I want to check if error is, error, I believe it will be in GORM. And what was the text? Duplicate. Duplicate, no. Error. Do you have error? No. One way I can check if it is if a string, error string, I mean, but I prefer to do it with a type, I guess. Let me go to the package. That's why I love open source, so I can just go and check source code. What I'm looking for is probably they have a file for custom errors, I imagine. Yes, errors. And error is error, invalid transaction, invalid square, record not found. Duplicate. No, you don't have error for duplicate, record not found. What I can do is search. They have v2, right? So maybe I need to have v2. Okay, anyway, let me search by this. Really? That's interesting. So I'm using GORM. Errors. What does my error say? Error 1. Is it maybe this is raised by SQL engine? So probably it's raised by SQL engine, I assume. Let me go to GORM again. What I can do, I can check create. New scope, new callbacks. Return scope, callbacks. Okay, this one, I guess. Yeah, it's interesting that they don't even have any error with this message. So maybe what I can do, errors. Why they don't have here? Section. GORM. Okay, so this is what we want to do, but we want to have a specific error. So let's see. So what we want to do is errors is I was hoping that Golang will help me, but what about duplicate? No. Duplicate entry. No. Okay, I will search by this error. This should have been the first, probably. Things. Error Golang. This is a very strange way of doing it, right? As I assume this error is raised from the engine, not from GORM. Error. Yeah, we can do this for sure. But I would like to have. There comes error from a server, not. I would like to have a more generic way of handling this in case if I don't see any generic ways, because in case if we switch from MySQL, for example, but for now I can use it with no problem. So I will do this one. So my query, my condition will be if it is not this, then raise this error. So we basically ignore this error. So let's see. And of course, another way is before saving, before trying to 162. What is happening? If error is MySQL, blah, blah, blah. So let me log this. Let's see. Log print ln number. Yes. Run. No. Yes. If error number that's interesting. Okay, let me debug this part. Probably I'm doing something stupid and then I don't see it. And then actually this happens when I do code sessions. But okay, let's see. So what's the number? Oh. 1062. Okay, where do I log it? Or it's logged by the engine by default? Yeah, probably this is what's happening. It's logged not by me, but by the system, right? Entry. Yes. Okay, so I believe one way of disabling it is to disable. Yeah, I missed this part totally because I was not even thinking that this happening. Actually, I was seeing it on my other models, subsystems, but since I didn't have a job to disable these errors, I never paid attention, but I think this is happening by default because I need to disable GORM. This is my first assumption. Maybe I am wrong, but I'm thinking that I might need to disable logging for GORM. Log mode. Okay, false. This is an issue. So what's happening? Okay, what do you don't like? Okay, so okay, here. Now you like it, yes. Okay, stop and rerun. Probably this needs to be configurable because sometimes you might need to see logs. But for now I'm okay. This for now goal was to just disable for this particular case. I believe that's it. I will put some links probably in description, or yeah, I will see. I will attach probably some more information. Thanks for watching. In next, probably in follow-up video, I will just explain GitHub API part and go GitHub package in a more shorter version. And thanks for watching.